Visual. A soft, warm light fills a quiet living room. A doctor sits in a comfortable armchair leaning forward slightly. His voice is steady, warm, and personal. Introduction: The Invisible Thief. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a mouth as dry as cotton, or noticed that your energy just seems to vanish by 10 a.m.? You might tell yourself it's just a bad night's sleep or that it's simply what happens when you're over 60, but as a doctor who has spent decades caring for older adults, I've seen that many of these signs of aging are actually the work of an invisible thief: dehydration. In our youth, our bodies would scream at us when they needed water, but after 60, the rules of the game change. Your internal thirst alarm starts to fade, and your kidneys, those silent heroes working 24/7, lose some of their strength. You might be running on empty and have absolutely no idea. Today, we are going to look at the hidden language of your body. We're going to talk about why thick blood is a real danger while you sleep, how to read the diagnostic window on your fingernails, and the simple 10-minute morning ritual that can protect your heart, your brain, and your independence. Grab a glass of water and a notepad. Your age does not define your future. The small, consistent choices you make starting today do. Section 1. The Thirst Paradox: Why You Don't Feel the Need. Let's talk about a patient named Frank, a retired postal worker. Frank came to see me because he was feeling constantly tired and noticed his ankles were swollen by the end of the day. He told me, "Doctor, I'm just not a big water drinker. I never feel thirsty." This is the thirst paradox. As we age, our body's sense of thirst naturally diminishes. By the time you actually feel thirsty, you are already mildly dehydrated. But here's what Frank didn't realize. Because he was worried about waking up at 2 a.m. to use the bathroom, he had started cutting off all fluids after 4 p.m. He thought he was being practical, but he was actually putting his heart in a cardiovascular emergency. When you go to bed dehydrated, your blood becomes more viscous, it becomes thicker. For someone over 60 who may already have stiffened arteries or plaque buildup, this is a dangerous combination. Thicker blood moves more slowly through narrowed vessels, making it much more likely to form dangerous blood clots. This is one of the primary reasons why heart attacks and strokes so often happen in the quiet, early morning hours. Frank wasn't just getting old, his blood was struggling to flow. Section 2, the fingertip diagnostic, the 5-second test. If your body isn't telling you it's thirsty through a dry mouth, how do you know? You look at your nails. I want you to try this right now with me. It's called the capillary refill test. Hold your hand at the level of your heart. Press down firmly on one of your fingernails for 2 seconds until it turns white. Let go and count. 1001, 1002. In a healthy adult with good circulation and hydration, that pink color should return in under 2 seconds. If it takes 3 seconds or longer, it's a sign that your microvascular system, the tiniest blood vessels in your body, is sluggish. Your nails are a window into your heart. Those tiny capillaries beneath your nail bed are some of the first to show trouble when your circulation starts to struggle due to dehydration or arterial disease. And while you're looking at your nails, check for the lunula, that little white half moon at the base. In a healthy adult, you should see them clearly on your thumb and index finger. If they've disappeared or turned a bluish tint, it's your body's way of whispering that your oxygen levels or circulation are not where they should be. Brittle, slow-growing nails are another signal. If your nails break easily or you rarely need to trim them, your nail matrix isn't receiving the steady supply of nutrients and oxygen-rich blood it needs. This is often a silent predictor of future heart attack or stroke risk. Section 3. The morning coffee trap. Wait 30 minutes. Now let's look at the first 10 minutes of your day. Most seniors reach for a cup of coffee the moment they wake up. If you drink it on an empty stomach, you are triggering a stress storm in your body. When you wake up, your body is already naturally high in cortisol, the stress hormone. Adding caffeine to an empty stomach amplifies this effect, signaling your liver to release even more glucose into your blood even if you haven't eaten a single bite. This can spike your blood sugar by as much as 40 milligrams per deciliter. Even worse, that cortisol surge is your muscle's worst enemy. It switches your body into survival mode, where it starts breaking down your own muscle tissue to create emergency energy. This leads to a condition called chronic muscle catabolism, where you are essentially eating away your own strength while you sit in your morning chair. The fix: for the first 2 minutes of your day, drink 1 full glass of water. This thins your blood and reactivates your circulation. Wait at least 30 to 60 minutes before your coffee and always eat a source of protein first, like an egg or a plain Greek yogurt, to buffer that cortisol spike. Section 4. The silent poisons in your kitchen. We can't talk about hydration without talking about what you're eating. There are silent poisons in almost every kitchen that make dehydration much more dangerous. The biggest offender is sugar and refined flour. I call this the sweet and deadly duo. When you eat white bread or sugary cereals, your body converts them into sugar almost instantly. This triggers a tsunami of glucose that literally caramelizes your kidney filters, making them rigid and destroying them over time. High blood sugar also inflames your arteries, making it harder for water to reach your tissues. This leads to that unexplained fatigue after lunch and that constant thirst that never seems to go away. Then there is hidden salt. More than 75% of the sodium we consume comes from processed foods like bread, canned soups, and frozen meals. When you flood your body with sodium, it retains fluid to try and dilute it, shooting your blood pressure through the roof. Think of it like trying to clean a delicate silk cloth with a high-pressure firefighter's hose. That is what hypertension does to your kidneys every single day. Section 5, your 10-minute morning memory shield. So what should you do for 10 minutes every morning to stay sharp, hydrated, and strong? Minute 1 to 2, thin the blood. Drink 8 ounces of water immediately upon waking. This is the most powerful act of defense for your heart and brain. Minute 3 to 5, the self-exam. Check your nails, do the capillary refill test. Look for your lunulas. If you have green eyes, remember that you are more sensitive to light due to carrying a rare mutation from an ancestor near the Black Sea. Step into some natural morning light to reset your internal clock. Minute 6 to 8, feed the factory. Eat a breakfast that supports your muscle-building factory. Greek yogurt, packed with leucine, the master amino acid that switches on muscle repair. Eggs, the gold standard of protein. Always eat the yolk. That's where the choline for your memory and the vitamin D for your muscles live. Berries. Blueberries and blackberries are like tiny bodyguards for your blood vessels, protecting them from the potholes of inflammation. Minute 9 to 10. Reactivate the river. A sedentary lifestyle is like stagnant water. It rots and becomes toxic. Take a 2-minute walk around your home or do a few chair exercises. Moving your muscles acts like a drain, pulling excess sugar out of your blood and sending a wave of clean, oxygenated blood to your kidneys and brain. Conclusion: progress, not perfection. I want to tell you about Dorothy, a 72-year-old grandmother who felt her half-moons on her nails had disappeared and she was constantly tired. She didn't ignore the sign. She brought it to her doctor, found she was anemic, and made small changes to her morning routine. Today, she is chasing her grandchildren around the playground with more energy than she had in her 50s. Your goal isn't perfection, it's progress. If yesterday wasn't your healthiest day, that's okay. Start today. Choose water over soda. Choose whole fruit over juice. Your body has been working for you every second of every day since before you were born. Tomorrow morning, it's time to start working for it. Which of these morning habits are you going to start tomorrow? The water, the nail check? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one because your health story matters to me. If this helped you, please share it with someone you love, a spouse, a sibling, or a friend who needs to hear this. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mendel. Take care of your heart, take care of your kidneys, and keep moving. Visual. The doctor smiles warmly and closes his notebook as the screen fades to a soft golden light. Video end.